One of the questions I get asked all the time is how much should I spend on a phone case? Well, we're going to answer that today by looking at one expensive case and one cheap case to see what the differences are and which one you should get. So is this case really 14 times better than this case? Let's start things off by taking a look at the cheap case. Now, this is Olixar's camera ring stand case, and that's what you get with a cheap case, a long name. But at only £5, link in the description by the way, I can't really fault the value of this case. For a start, you get MagSafe, so don't worry about plugging your phone in at night. Slap the MagSafe charger on the back and worry no more. One of the best features of this case though is the camera ring stand. So this just pops out and you can easily stand your phone up and catch up with content whether you're on a plane, train, or on a long car journey. Gone are the days that you're going to be propping up your phone with a water bottle or your wallet. We've all been there. In the hands, the case does actually feel pretty solid. It doesn't feel like it's only £5. However, this little camera bezel stand does feel a little bit flimsy. Not to the point that it's going to snap off, but it does feel a little bit cheap compared to the hard plastic on the back. This does change though when you look at the material on the side of the case, as it's a little bit tough and uninviting in my opinion. Talking about the sides of the case, they are also pretty thin. So if you're someone who drops your phone often, this may be one to dodge, as I don't think it's going to actually offer that much in terms of drop protection. Once the case is on the phone though, a lot of these things disappear. The camera stand starts to feel a little bit sturdier now the case isn't moving around, and the sides feel pretty solid now it's got some reinforcement with the phone in between. Overall, for £5, I can't really complain about this case. It has MagSafe, it has a nice feature which you can stand your phone up with, and it does offer some pretty good protection against scratches or just throwing your phone on a desk. Let's move on to the expensive case and see what 14 times the price of the last case gets you. This is the Otterbox Series 3 case. And let's not beat around the bush. It is £70. That is a lot of money for a case. Even if your phone is £1,000, £70 is still going to be a hell of a lot of money to fork over for a case. So what is this case actually going to offer you? Now, jokes aside, I do think this case is probably going to be good if you're going on holiday, because you don't really want sand and water getting around your phone, especially salt water. Phones nowadays are pretty waterproof, however, you still don't really want salt water ruining the seals, as it will probably break them for good. And let's be honest, when you go on holiday, everyone wants those unique shots of either in the sea or in the pool having fun. I mean, that's the whole reason I bought a GoPro for. Now, because this case is waterproof, there are some added benefits here too. For a start, it does actually have a built-in screen protector and camera protector around the back. So if you're someone that damages your phone quite often, this is going to be perfect for you. Now, moving on to the build quality of this case, it is pretty much built like a tank. Now, snapping this case onto the phone is a little bit different than just whacking your case normally on. You have to make sure every side of it is closed to ensure that it's waterproof. That includes down at the bottom where your lightning port is as well. This is now covered by a special little part that you have to open to charge your phone or get data off it. But let's be honest, thankfully this case does still have MagSafe, so you'll just slap a charger on the back every night and charge your phone up. Now, as mentioned before, it has now transformed your iPhone 14 into a tank. Especially on an iPhone 14 Pro Max, it really feels big in the hands. Thankfully, it also adds a lot of protection, and being Otterbox, it's pretty much going to protect your phone regardless of what you throw at it. Now, all this sounds great, but there are definitely some downsides to this. While testing this case, we actually struggled to get it off the phone once we installed it. Bruh. Did you say you did get it off? No. Genuinely, I can't get it off. You know, it just takes 2 people to get this case off your phone. Now, this means that it's definitely going to be watertight. However, it's not going to be the thing you pop on and take off quickly. And if you've not noticed already, there's this sort of crown on the side, which you would see normally on a watch or an Apple Watch if you've got one of those. This is so you can turn the mute switch on and off while the phone is within the case. Overall, it does feel a little bit cheap and a bit fiddly in my opinion. I don't know if I'm the only person, but I just put my phone on silent and leave it like that. Now, another downside of this case is because it is waterproof, it does actually stop some of the sound coming out. So if you want to take calls within this case, You can, but it's gonna sound a lot worse than, say, if you used the £5 case from earlier. It's not something I'd put on my phone every day, but it's definitely something I would use if I was going on holiday, as I'm definitely gonna know that my phone is safe and secure. So, is it worth buying a £70 case rather than a £5 case? Well, yes and no really. I think this case for £70 is definitely worth it if you're going on holiday. But I think it's a bit too big and rugged to use every day. And I think that's where something like this comes in. When you're sort of just going back and forth to the office and not really taking your phone out the house that much, do you really need something that rugged? Probably not. And that's where this Olixar case comes in. It's thin and it's going to protect your phone good enough, and let's be honest, just putting it in your pocket with some keys and change. So I do think both of these cases are worth it, however, they're definitely different. This is going to protect your phone no matter what, even if you chuck it in a river. I think this one is more of your everyday case that you're going to want, especially if you're going on a train.